Hello friends, welcome to another video of Hybrid Academy. I'm sure most of us would be using the beard trimmer to maintain our beard, but gradually over the time, the battery of any trimmer deteriorates and the performance goes down. If your trimmer provides the option to use it through power supply, then it's really good, you can use it. But in case that option is not available and it only works on battery, then just because of the battery, your trimmer becomes useless. So in today's video, we will see how we can replace the battery ourselves at a very low cost. Let me tell you, I'm taking the example of a Philips trimmer. I contacted Philips and their service center to replace the battery, and they quoted me a very huge price, which was almost equivalent to the price of a new trimmer. So let's see how we can replace the battery ourselves and save a lot of money. And in fact, the battery which we will replace would definitely improve the performance of the trimmer, not only in terms of actual performance but also in terms of the backup or the duration of backup it will provide. Let's go ahead and start the video. So before moving on with the replacement of the battery, I opened the Philips trimmer and I checked the battery which is required to be replaced. So the battery which I found inside the Philips trimmer was two AAA sized rechargeable batteries of 750 milliampere. Both were nickel metal hydride and the voltage for both the batteries was 1.2 volts. Now, based on this information, I did some research on the internet at which battery would be compatible with the trimmer, and I found two more suitable options for this. One was a Duracell rechargeable battery which had the same configuration of AAA with 750 milliampere, and I found another option of NV company known as Infinite Cell. This also had the same configuration, but the capacity of these batteries were very much higher, that was 1100 milliampere, which means these batteries would provide extra backup or additional backup to the trimmer, or in a layman's language, it will provide extra backup or more duration for the trimmer to work. So out of these two, I selected the NV Infinite battery because I have been using these batteries under my photography profession for my flashes and all. And comparatively, I have used both these and I found the NV batteries to be much better than Duracell. So this is the NV Infinite battery of 1100 milliampere. It has two AAA NiMH battery and it is of 1.2 volt each. Now if you look at the manufacturing for this is of January 2023. The cost mentioned on the package is Indian rupees 395, which I bought somewhere around 300 rupees. Now this is the Philips trimmer which we will be opening. This is in good working condition and the model for this is Philips trimmer QT4001. Here also you can see the battery configuration is written and some other details about the trimmer is mentioned over here. So we will be opening this trimmer. We will detach the parts which are easily removable first. We have removed the plastic cap which maintains the distance and we have removed the blades. There is some dust and some trimmed hair inside. Let's clear that out. And now I'll use the back of the spoon to open this trimmer. Now these trimmers don't have a screw. We need a clip or we need something like this which we can use to open these trimmers. So I'll try to open this using the back of the spoon. So you can see that after lots of struggle, finally the trimmer got open and both the AAA batteries are visible. Now let's try to pull out the circuit, that's the PCB, printed circuit board, and once this is out, then we'll be able to remove the batteries. This seems to be pasted inside the body of the trimmer, so I think we'll have to use the plus to pull this out. Let me just try to pull this out using the plus. So finally the printed circuit board PCB came out. I had to pull this out using the plus or the plier because it was pasted inside. Now I'll use the soldering iron to remove the batteries, and while it gets hot, let me just try to open the new batteries. So these are the new batteries, and if you see, this is exactly the same size because it's also AAA, and the ones which are originally installed inside the trimmer are also AAA. So these are of the same size, and we will replace these new batteries in place of the old ones. Now the soldering iron is hot. Let me just try to pull out the batteries if possible. No, it seems like the batteries are welded and not soldered. So let me just take out the PCB completely out from the trimmer. So I'm just desoldering the wires which are connecting the PCB to the trimmer. Now I'm just cleaning the points where the soldering was done, so that later on it is easier to connect it back to the trimmer. So these batteries are not soldered, they are actually welded with the PCB. Now since it is welded, so instead of taking it off with the soldering iron or instead of desoldering the joint, what I did is that I used the spoon and the knife to just create some space in that particular metal strip and then pulled it off using the plus or the plier. So actually I broke the welding which was done between the metal plate and these batteries, because it was not getting desoldered. So after pulling off the welding between the metal plates and the battery, finally the battery came off, and now you can see that on the PCB it has both the plus and the minus sign where the wires were connected, and you can also see the metal plates which were soldered along with the battery. So I basically pulled off these plates from the battery. All the batteries has a plus sign and a minus sign, so now we can use the new batteries instead of the old ones. Now in this new battery also you can see there is a plus sign, and by default the other end is the minus one. So we'll connect the plus with the battery plus, and the other battery will have the minus sign, so that we can connect them in series. Now I will solder these metal plates along with the battery. These plates are a bit bent, so we'll have to straighten them up so that we can easily solder them. Now let's again place the battery and solder them. Solder the plates with the battery. Now since both the batteries are soldered from one end, let's check if the batteries are properly soldered. So I'm just testing the voltage of both the batteries one by one, and you can see it's showing 1.3 volts, which is prominent, like it's 1.2 volt battery and it's giving 1.3. Now the other one will have to switch the points, positive and negative, and you can see this is also showing 1.3 volt. So both the batteries are soldered properly. Now let's connect the other end of these batteries so that they properly get connected like the original ones. So there is a small metal plate which was used to connect both the batteries. I've again pulled out or ripped off the welding from the original batteries, and now I'll be soldering this to the other end of the new batteries. Now, although the batteries was showing full voltage of 1.3 volt each, still while soldering maybe the batteries got hot and they got discharged. So that's why it's showing the red blinking light, which means it's low battery. But as the light is on, that shows that the circuit is perfectly fine and also the batteries are properly connected. Now we'll put this Now we'll connect this PCB circuit in the trimmer and we'll fix it back and we'll check if the trimmer works fine. Now before fixing the PC back in the trimmer body, we will first have to connect the wires from the trimmer body to the PCB, and these wires will again have to be soldered. Now as you can see that the wires are soldered, so we'll fix the PCB back. I'm just pressing it. This PCB was pasted earlier with the body, but now I'm not pasting it, I'm simply fixing it back as it was before. And you can see that the trimmer is getting on, but the battery is low. So before testing it finally, you'll have to check it. You'll have to charge it and then it should work. Before putting the body, I just tested that the rotator, which actually moves the gapping between the blades and the plastic cap, that is working fine. So now I am closing the trimmer. I am just closing the body. And you can see that the light is glowing, which means that the battery is connected properly. I'll now connect a charger to this to check and to test if it is working fine. And once the battery is completely charged, it should work as it was before, and this time this should provide longer duration of backup because the battery ampere is much higher than the original battery. So as you can see, this is the original charger. I'll connect this charger to the trimmer to charge it. This will also help me to know if the batteries are getting charged. So you can see that it's getting charged. Green light blinking means it is getting charged, and once completely charged, this blinking stops and the light becomes steady green, which means that battery is completely charged. And you can also see that the trimmer is working absolutely fine. So let this get charged. And now I remove the charger to test it if it is working fine. So we have successfully replaced the batteries, and you can see it is working absolutely fine with the new batteries. And once the batteries are completely charged, this should provide a much longer duration of backup as compared to the original batteries. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the content, please like the video, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more such informative videos.